So my examples for this lesson were using phonemic awareness and phonics. And it's set up like a PD lesson for other educators. For phonemic awareness, we're actually going to focus on sound isolation. And for sound isolation and phonemic awareness, you want to use direct instruction. Station teaching is fantastic, but this is not something that you could do in an independent station. It's best taught through explicit or direct instruction, and you need to be sure that you provide plenty of opportunities for practice and engagement for your students. You also need to be consistent and brief in your instructions, so say things the same way. That way you're not confusing your kids. So what does this look like? We're going to provide students with an example. For example, the sun. And you're going to say, I'm going to say the first sound in sun. S. Then you give your students a chance to practice and say, now it's your turn to say the first sound in sun. And then they would respond with S. Now for phonics, we're going to look at sounding out words. This is something also best taught through direct or explicit instruction. Again, it's not a discovery activity. They're not going to be able to sit down independently and just figure out what sounds each letter makes. So you're going to need to model this for them. They also need plenty of opportunity for practice, and your instruction should be scaffolded. And we'll take a look at that here in just a second. So what does this look like? You're going to break it down. If you show them a picture of a cat, you're going to start by segmenting the sounds and saying k, at, and you're going to have them say the sound until they reach the next one. Then you're going to blend the sounds. So a lot of people, the way they do this is they'll hold their arm out in front of them and kind of start at their wrist and go k, at, and then they'll go faster, k, at, cat, and then work it up. And this helps especially your visual and your kinesthetic learners, gives them a great visual and physical way to hear how those sounds blend together. And then in your scaffolding of instruction, we started with breaking it down, then you're blending the sounds, and you're going to work towards sounding out the word silently. You're not just going to sit them down and tell them to sound out the word. You have to model each of these steps explicitly and then work up to the more difficult tasks.